2003, but it's not the first year I found out about this school, right? When I was 18, I was invited to come to this school, and the man who was running the program at the time, John Harton, had asked me if I would want to teach here. And that came about because my father was really involved in helping start non-traditional music programs around the country. And so he helped with Berkeley, and he helped with GIT, and he had his hand in a lot of these different programs that were non-traditional music programs. But ultimately kind of settled down in this little mountain valley and established his own guitar program at a university there. And so he worked kind of part-time as the studio musician and then also as this guitar professor at Utah State University. And he grew this guitar program there that became quite large. When I was a student there, I was trying to think with Brent last night how many guitar majors there were. I think there was probably close to 50. And in terms of how many people actually were involved in the guitar classes, which were guitar styles classes, like you could take a bluegrass guitar class, and rock guitar, and classical guitar, and jazz guitar, and guitar pedagogy, and history of guitar. I don't even know how many hundreds of people were involved with that, but it was big. It was a big guitar program. And so because of what he was, my father, what he was developing there, he became somewhat connected to other people around the country that were interested in non-traditional programs. And that included John Harton. And so John Harton, who helped to develop this program, reached out and asked my dad if he could fly up and check out what was going on at that school. So when he flew up, and visited the school, I was at the time 18. I was actually helping to teach in that program and teaching a couple guitar classes that John just happened to sit in on. And after the classes, he approached me and was like, I would really love to have you come teach at this school that I am really developing and trying to build. And the thing that was interesting to me is how he tried to sell me on it, right? Which I was not interested at first. That was like 1999, right? And I didn't come here in that year. There were a lot of things I was doing I was excited about at that time, and so I did not move down here at that time. But it's interesting, I don't know if he did this on purpose, but when he started to tell me about the program and what they were doing and what they were accomplishing with their students and what former students were up to, all of the former students that he was bragging about were females. And that is unusual. It is really, really unusual to have an arts program so populated with females that there's that many females to brag about in terms of what they've done once they've graduated. And I remember thinking that is unusual. I knew that was unusual because I was the only female out of all of those guitar participants and guitar majors at USU, I was the only female. I didn't have any female professors, no other female students involved. It was all males. And so as he was talking to me about it, I was like, wow, that is unusual. That's kind of something that's attractive to me and interesting to me. But I said no to the job and kept doing the other things that I was excited about at that time. Well, fast forward a few years, I did accept a job here in 2003. And when I came down and visited the school, there were several things I noticed about this school that were kind of unique and special, that were real, like attractive qualities of the school. But one was when I came in for my first visit to this school, the population of female students. Now, this program is still way, in terms of the ratio of male students to female students, the disparity between the two is it is big. But compared to other arts programs, the margin of difference is a little smaller, for sure. And that is something that I noticed when I came here and felt pretty excited about. It's also super unusual to have a female guitar major. It just is. When you do the numbers, when you look at all of the guitar programs in the country and how many of those students are reported male versus female, there's quite a significant change in numbers, right? And my first semester here, I taught Jamie, I taught Beth. There were like a lot of females coming in and out of my office door where I was like, okay, yeah, this is different. This is like a different culture, and just the dynamic here is a little different than what is typical. I taught at BGSU, I taught at USU, I taught at Texas Tech. I don't remember having any female students there either. So this space has been kind of an interesting space in terms of the number of female participants, female majors. And we have work to do still in terms of trying to make sure that this industry is accessible to females and that equal opportunities are given to females. We'll probably get into that a little bit today. I hope we do. So I'm not saying that this program and all the others, we've arrived. There's nothing to worry about now. There's still so much to talk about, still so much to be aware of, and still so much to kind of work for. However, I am encouraged at least that in this program, we have a lot of females that are participating compared to, in other programs, what their numbers look like. So I'm going to, pull up my bios here. I want to first of all introduce Ann Luna. And she was a student when I first arrived at South Plains College. She got here before I did. She got here in 2001. And she was participating in the bluegrass ensembles, playing and picking on the plains, just so likable. She always has been. It's how I remember Anne, right? Just super sweet and likable. But I remember she approached me the second semester, and she's brave. And she's like, I think I want to do the jazz ensemble. And that actually does take a lot of courage for someone who's been playing bluegrass. It's just stylistically very different. And I was instantly like, I love her.